Hi guys, John the Firearms Instructor, and welcome back to our channel. I'm glad you're here. If you're new to the channel, my name is John Johnson. I'm an owner and operator of a firearms training facility in beautiful Cape Coral, Florida. We're down there in the southwest area of Florida between Naples and Tampa, and we love it down here. If you are new, we are a firearms training facility that specializes in new students, whether it be with concealed carry or firearms training or shooting tips or try before you buy. There's a lot of stuff we do. If you're one of our regular subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Well, today we're going to talk about recoil management and muzzle flip. Now, a lot of people think those are the same thing. They're not. Recoil management is how the gun's going to control or roll as you're shooting it. And muzzle flip is how it goes up in the air as you shoot. And I have done a couple of shots here in slow motion to kind of give you an idea what, and John will tag each one of them what I think it is. And we're going to learn a couple tips today to control the weapon to give you more muzzle control and stop the flipping of the muzzle. What the problem with muzzle flip and recoil management is, you've heard me talk about before, that horizontal and vertical line. The vertical line more is in weapon over dominant eye, but that horizontal line is more in your line of sight. And as you allow the gun to muzzle flip and recoil management becomes an issue, that weapon jacks below or goes below that horizontal line. So there's a couple tips I can give you to help you get more control of the weapon. And it starts off right off the bat with a decent grip. Now I'm going to change positions to kind of show you what I'm talking about. We talk a lot about our butterfly grip, how we're going to control the weapon with these 3 fingers and these 4 fingers, if you kind of get the idea of that. And I want to make sure you understand the whole idea of this is we're sandwiching the gun or the weapon in between the pistol, in between these 2 pieces of skin. Because really the fingers are holding it, but technically the fingers themselves are just doing certain things. They're giving us leverage that we need. So I'm right-handed. I'm going to try to focus this in the gun on the camera itself. But when we put this weapon in our hand, what we're trying to do is use the back of the hand and the front of the hand, like this. I'm using these fingers to press this into this hand. It's almost like a C-clamp, if you kind of think about it. Kind of look in that position there. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep our finger off the trigger, keep our thumb up, and use these 3 fingers to press it in the back of the hand. Now, as we press this gun out, we could physically, oh, by the way, gun, this weapon is empty. We're in a closed set here, but I wanted to show you because I am going to do some trigger engagements today, dry firing, in other words, and we want to make sure it is clear. All right, so as I drive this gun out, and I'm putting it out here in front of me, I want to make sure that I've got the gun high on the tang. I'm going to be as high as I can. So when this weapon cuts, the actual gun will come up and down, because the slide, basically what it wants to do is it wants to react backwards. And as it drives it back, if we're stopping the flip with our fingers, technically if I were to show this gun in this position, let's say my right hand was here, the gun actually does a couple different things. It actually, because the slide is coming back, the front of the weapon comes up. Now what we're trying to do, and then it wants to come down as well. So when we put our hands on this weapon and we drive it out, pulling and we stop that front flip as much as we can. And you'll see that in the actual video. When I'm not controlling, I did one where I didn't have very good control. I wasn't high on the tang. I had it like this, and that gun was really flopping. Boom, boom. It was really, really going. In slow motion, it looks almost too much, right? But as we put the gun higher on the tang and drive these fingers into the back of my hand, that controls the front and back movement of this gun. And as we lay it out here in front of us, dry fire again. It just stays level each time. Now, that alone in itself would control a lot of your muzzle flip by just driving it out. Now, let's think about switching our feet to a shoulder width distance, bouncing on our knees a little bit, and now drive the weapon out. As we drive the weapon out, I'm pushing this hand into this hand. And what it's going to do is cause this part of my hand and this part of my hand to be squeezing together. And this is where the grip comes from, right here. So take this, bring this hand in, and these fingers roll in. Now driving that out, pushing out, and slowly pressing the trigger. This is going to allow that gun to stay level each time. And boom, boom, boom. Now, a lot of times what we see a lot of people do is they'll end up not doing the drive as much. They'll keep standing up straight or leaning back a little bit. And when you lean back, you give this pistol room to move. We want to control the movement as much as possible by driving the gun completely out. Driving it out, driving it out, driving it out. And that's going to continuously make the gun better, because when the gun rises and falls, you want to level it back out on your horizontal line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Johnny move the camera a little bit, and we are going to do this with a live fire, because I've done some slow motion stuff. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do some live fire with the camera still here and me driving it forward to kind of show you how little the muzzle will lift if you do it properly. All right, we'll be right back. So what I figured I would do is show you how to not hold the gun properly, and then get to the end and let you hold the gun properly with proper grip and proper stance, leaning into the gun and getting very good control. You really tell the difference between a good grip and a bad grip. We get so many people telling me the two thumbs grip or two thumb cross is not going to work. If I can hold it anyway, I'm going to show you basically the grip everyone says they do, which is more in line of this is your dominant hand, but we're not going to gap up. We're going to gap it, and then I'm going to take this thumb, bury it with this thumb, and grab it here. This is a grip that everyone says, oh, I shoot just fine with this grip, and I'm going to demonstrate how much muzzle flip you're going to get with this grip. Now, we did a slow motion video earlier with this grip, and now I'm going to show you it in live action, okay? So we're going to go hot. I'm going to put the weapon.
Yeah, just backed up a little bit.
Here?
Yeah, I just want the gun in the, yeah, that's good.
There we go. Then I'm going to rack it. Even racking the slide, you saw how much it flipped up. Then I'm going to thumb over, not grab with my left finger, my left hand very well, and we're just going to watch the flip. Now see how that keeps coming out of my hand? That weapon kept coming out of my hand the whole time because I wasn't gripping. That's standardly, if you don't hold on to the gun and it comes out of your hand, you're not gripping properly anyways. Remember, as a right-handed student, all your power and strength comes from your non-dominant hand. All right? Okay, so now we're going to do a different grip. We're going to grab a little higher on the tang. We're going to grab a little tighter with my dominant hand. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grip a little less with this hand, but still be higher up so there's no gapping. What that means, guys, is this is how I'm going to shoot it with this right here. This is a gap between right hand and left hand. Any gapping we get is going to want to be filled by recoil, if that makes sense. So let me step back. Let me go ahead and put a round in this thing and give this a try with this grip. Check with Johnny, see if I'm on.
You're good.
All right, here we go. I have gap between right thumb and left thumb. I'm going to reach up here. Now you see it. Now you see, guys, I was still standing upright, but I had a little bit of gap, and we still got some flip on that. All right. So now what the next one's going to come is going to be a full demonstration of the flip being gone with me driving forward, putting the weight on my toes, shifting the weight forward. You'll see a big difference in how the weapon stays level. All right, be right back. All right, guys, so this one here, we're going to give it the full power strength. We're going to be driving that gun out towards the target. We're going to be using our pecs. We're going to get good grip on this hand as well. We're not going to have any gaps for the weapon to move in. And I'm going to drive the gun forward with my feet. I'm going to shift the weight to my toes. I'm going to really drive this gun out towards the target, and you'll see how little the gun rises and falls. All right, so let me step back. Mr. Johnny, are we in line?
Looks good.
All right. Rounds in. Here we go. Drive. Press it. All right. I could tell by just the way that felt that that was a level gun. A level gun always shoots level, guys. If you're at the range and you're shooting low, a lot of times it has to do with muzzle flip or shooting control. Basically, you got to drive this gun towards the target and control it. That horizontal and vertical line is so important. It's going to keep you level. If you're at the range and you're seeing a lot of low and lefts and low in this and low in that, it has to do with the gun getting at that angle. Remember, a level gun shoots level, and it must be controlled. If you're not controlling the weapon, that's on you, right? It's not the gun. It's not the sights. It's us not controlling the weapon. Proper grip, proper stance, proper trigger control is all necessities to control muzzle flip and recoil management. If you like what we're doing here, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon. And every time we upload something, you'll be the first to know. Until next time, guys, God bless, be safe, and remember, you are your first line defense. How are you controlling your muzzle flip?